Charles, good afternoon everyone. Olympic Park representing neutral territory for Argentina and Brazil, but the intensity and the rivalry between the teams just the same as if we were in Buenos Aires or Rio. Well, the Argentina side sees Islas in goal. We have Lorenzo, Luca the sweeper, and Ruggieri the captain, with Oscar Gare coming back into the side at left back. Also returning, the bearded Sergio Batista, fit now to line up alongside the fellow World Cup winner Ricardo Giusti. There's also a place for Dario Sivicki, who didn't arrive in Australia in time for the opening game against Saudi Arabia. Well, that was a game in which Hernan Diaz, he'll never forget what happened to him. He scored twice for Argentina before his spectacular own goal cost his team a point. It was Romario who scored for Brazil against Australia here on Thursday night, a goal worth 2 points in the league table in the Bicentennial Gold Cup. But today, a shoulder injury to Nelsinho has forced Brazil into a reshuffle in defence. Jorginho switches from right to left back, with Luis Carlos coming into the side. And it is a side brimming with youthful potential. Referee is Don Campbell. A week from today, he'll take charge of the grand final of this competition in Sydney. Well, I talk about the rivalry. We've had disputes here over the dressing rooms as to which team should go into which. Argentina have protested about Brazil's numbering for the side they put out today, because they've actually changed from the squad numbers that was announced at the beginning of the competition. And just before the kickoff, there was a dispute over which bench the respective coaches and substitutes should use. So they're quite a long way away from home, these two teams, but tradition runs very deep, particularly for Argentina, who have a really appalling record against Brazil since 1970. The teams have met 17 times over that span of 18 years, and Argentina, although they've been twice world champions in that period, they've only beaten Brazil once. So they've got a score or two to settle. The team strips, perhaps the most identifiable in the world game, the light blue and white stripes of Argentina, the yellow shirts with the green trims, and the light blue shorts of Brazil. The pitch isn't quite as wet as it was when Brazil played Australia here on Thursday, but it will certainly cut up, and it is a blustery afternoon as well. Here's Lorenzo. Cabrera. I don't suppose there is a greater rivalry in the international game between these two South American countries. The Argentinians actually feel that they taught South America how to play soccer, but Brazil, particularly in that glittering era when they won the World Cup in 58, 62 and 70, have shown what great pupils they've been. Giovanni. Aloisio playing it across to Ricardo. And Argentina playing very deep in their defending. The sweeper, Luca, really dropping right back into his own half. Ruggieri, captaining Argentina. Jose Luis Rodriguez, number 19, the top scorer in Argentinian club football. Giusti winning the header, then away by Ademir. And you can see what Argentina were protesting about, because Jorginho, wearing number 6 here, actually wore number 2 against Australia. And this competition, quite properly, is under full FIFA regulations. And once you're given a number at the outset of the competition, you should stick to it. So maybe we haven't heard the last of that. Ruggieri. And you can probably hear the South American feel for the crowd as well. We've got the Brazilian samba band, the rhythm of a drummer down in the stand beneath us, and some South American skills on show as well. Here's Giovanni. And Romario, the furthest forward then, loitering as he does. Islas, the Argentina goalkeeper, who was number 2 to Pumpido in the World Cup in 1986 in Mexico. But at just 22 years of age, Islas really poised to take over now. For many years, Argentina were one of the few nations to have a plus record in internationals against Brazil, who normally take most opposition to the cleaners. But certainly Brazil have got their own back over the last 20 years. And that's the rhythm from the terraces. Oh, well, I'm sure we're going to see flashpoints in the game. It's not going to be easy for Don Campbell. Diaz involved. He was pushed down by Giovanni initially. And then there was all sorts of bother about to boil over. So it's Argentina's free kick. Taken by Garay. Rodriguez got his head to it first of all. It's actually gone out. And it is a goal kick. Some early impressions from Johnny Warren.
Well, early stages, Martin, both sides feeling one another out. Not a lot of room to move out there, is there, at the moment, but not exactly the atmosphere of Maracanã or River. But both teams are in a very serious mood, particularly Argentina, because they only had the opportunity to play 10 international matches a year. And the chance to play against Brazil, of course, is an occasion too good to miss. Hopefully, both sides will settle down. We're going to see the football that both these countries are capable of.
The football, and I think some of the fire as well. Muller. Ruggieri. Rodriguez trying to lay it off as he was fouled. Savitsky, the fair-haired number 22, is really a raiding midfield player, but in the formation adopted by Carlos Bilardo, he's up there alongside Rodriguez so far. And that's a push by Rodriguez. But Australia's great win yesterday really has given Argentina more of a problem than Brazil. Anything less than a win for Argentina today, and a draw would be good enough to take Australia through to the final at Argentina's expense when those two countries meet in Sydney on Thursday. That'll be a match not to be missed. Keep a goal tally, of course, often a corner tally, but it might be worth keeping a foul tally today. The opening exchanges punctuated by free kicks. Batista. When these two teams meet, you're reminded of the old saying, football's not a matter of life and death, it's much more serious than that. Diaz. Savitsky ahead of him. Diaz looking to take on Aloisio. Scooped out by Ademir. But those eye-catching bursts from midfield of Hernan Diaz were so effective against Saudi Arabia. And he's already on the move in this encounter. It's a corner to Argentina. The big men from the back are in there. Lorenzo, Ruggeri, and Luca. But Diaz could only find the head of Ademir. But he'll get another opportunity. Stabbed out by Jorginho. Lorenzo. And it almost dropped for Rodriguez as Luca went in for the header. Luca, the sweeper, who'd been in an advanced position at the corners. When you look down the roll of honour from the last 8 World Cups, these two countries won 5 of those competitions. Genuinely the top flight. And it's a marvellous opportunity for Australian fans and viewers to see these two teams at relatively close quarters. Ruggeri. Back from Lorenzo. The tempo of the international game often looks a little lethargic when the ball is being played around at the back, but it's the change of pace that's so effective. Argentina trying to get players into the middle. In fact, 3 were in there as Rodriguez delivered the cross. Now it's a Brazilian free kick. Romario. Well, it ran for him and he was prepared to chase on. Valdo. The first real shot at Islas, and it wouldn't have counted because the linesman was flagging for offside. Romario was following up, hoping for a fumble, but he'd run too quickly and was in there before Valdo had actually released his shot. Ruggeri and Batista, heroes of the 1986 World Cup. The supporting cast for Argentina here, amongst the young and promising, as Carlos Bilardo looks to build for the 1990 finals in Italy. Argentina already qualified, of course, but not Brazil. Rodriguez. Here's Gare. Diaz, who has looked very impressive, and it was a sweet turn then that produced a free kick. Taken quickly. Batista. Diaz had won the free kick, but before we had a chance to see that again, Argentina had taken it. Control by Muller. Gade. Cabrera pressed by Muller, trying to repair his mistake. Won by Careca. If you didn't see the game against Australia, oh dear, I was going to tell you about Careca, but I have to tell you about the foul. which has produced a yellow card for Cabrera. First check was by Lorenzo, but Cabrera came siding in on Jorginho. But Careca the younger, not the Napoli player. Although he took his name from the older Careca. For Johnny Warren, there are one or two signs here about the tackling.
Well, hopefully it's not going to creep into the game. Don Campbell has a very tough job in the early stages of the match to stamp it out. With so much tension around and traditional rivals, this type of thing can happen and can take over the game. Hopefully it won't happen, and Campbell will keep control and the players will play with a little bit more responsibility. But Argentina at this stage, the more impressive side, they're a little bit better organised, perhaps a little hungrier for points today than Brazil. But certainly they've been the more impressive side in these opening moments.
We're in the 14th minute, and if you've just switched on, Argentina 0, Brazil 0 from Melbourne's Olympic Park. Garay really swinging it in high, hoping to use a little bit of height advantage from the big men of Argentina. Well played by Careca to Jorginho, and maybe, John, Brazil are quite happy to draw Argentina on a little bit and swoop forward like that.
There is no doubt their quick counter-attacks are very, very effective. The speed of Muller and Romero in front are so dangerous. As you say, that could very well be a tactic. They did it against Australia in the second half, content to just hang back and then catch them on the break. But Luca, the sweeper for Argentina, is playing very, very deep. I think it's a good tactic by Argentina to counter this speed, the breaks, to sweep up the back. Very, very deep, and a good tactic for Argentina.
Aloisio came off Careca. Valdo. Batista, who had a slight hamstring strain, that's why he didn't play in the opening game against Saudi Arabia. A mistake there by Luis Carlos, and that's deliberate handball by Ricardo, who's trying to protest his innocence. I think there was a mark there, a telltale sign, and it's certainly the trailing arm that it struck, and Rodriguez, with his appeal, answered in the affirmative. And a free kick to Argentina. What can they come up with here? Garay. Drops though for Justi. Cabrera got the ball this time, and the real sweeper this time was Islas, with Muller onside and away from Luca, as he is again, although Batista doing the job that really is his trademark, winning it back for Argentina. Muller, Romario in the middle, Muller. He's a penalty area pickpocket when the chances are around, and he loves the ball played into his feet where he can turn. Jorginho. Careca. Ademir. Luis Carlos from the international club of Porto Alegre, getting his chance because Nelsinho has a damaged shoulder, which I think will keep him out of the rest of this competition. Brazil go home and then to Europe shortly afterwards for a tour there, and they feel Nelsinho will be ready for that. Batista. Cabrera. It's well played. Savitsky. Rodriguez. Diaz in there hunting again. Well, Batista brought Valdo down, but Cabrera was still trying to get his bearings back. But the body swerve from Valdo. I think, Johnny Warren, we were moving one way and then the other in the commentary box. Inexplicably, Argentina got the free kick. Cabrera. There are so many dimensions, really, about this match. You can watch it on so many levels. It's certainly an important game in the context of the Bicentennial Gold Cup. It's a tremendous match in the rivalry between the two countries overall, but also it's an exhibition, really, of South American football for those who don't get the chance to see that too often. And that South American style also involves a bit of shirt pulling. Savitsky was late on parade for Argentina in this competition because he was being transferred back home from the San Lorenzo club to River Plate. The negotiations were rather protracted. But here is Savitsky very much involved in the action. Lorenzo with Taparel, but although the crowd were on their feet, more significantly the referee had blown for a foul, despite Rodriguez effort against the bar, it wouldn't have counted. Shouldn't forget either that both these countries have qualified for the Olympic finals in Seoul in late September. The rules for the Olympics state that players who have played in World Cup matches are ineligible. So Batista, for example, won't be able to go, but Luca here will, and Cabrera. Rodriguez. Now Jorginho. Luis Carlos. Brazil have a lot of players forward here, but Argentina, you may well expect to have numbers back at the first smell of danger. A change of boots, one of the Brazilians being offered there from the bench. Johnny, I think you'd wear the longest studs possible, wouldn't you, on a pitch like this?
Yes, it has affected both teams. There's a lot of slipping and sliding out there. But just on that Olympic Games question there, Martin, Justi, Batista, Gare, Islas, I believe, is the only 4 players ineligible for Argentina, and of course Muller for Brazil. All the other players will be at the Olympic Games. Gives you the Australian public an idea of the quality of football.
Savitsky. Well, it was an ambitious pass and very nearly the perfect pass, lifted over into that space behind the left back Jorginho.